Back again, guys, with another UFC video on the Fight Night card, BELFORT vs GASTELUM. Let's go ahead and get started here on the main card. We got Oliveira versus Tim Means. So we already seen this fight before. My pick for this fight the last time was Tim Means, and well, before I get down to my pick, let's go ahead and talk about how the first fight went. So the first fight went to be a no contest because Tim landed an illegal knees when Oliveira was down or whatever. Before that, the fight was very entertaining. Both these guys were going at it. Both of them landed some good shots. But of course, I thought Tim Means here was obviously winning the fight, was winning the grappling exchanges, the scrambles. To me, he looked like the better fighter in that fight. So to be honest, I expect this fight to go very similar, except this time Tim's not going to get disqualified. Or, I mean, he's not going to get a no contest. This time he's going to actually finish Oliveira. So I see Means winning this fight, guys. Oliveira's a tough guy, good striker. Not too bad takedowns either, even though he kind of just like muscles his takedowns. But I think Tim Means here is the better striker, has the better ground game, way better cardio, and a lot more output. So I expect Tim Means here to put on another one of his clinics. This guy's, dangerous with all his, all his striking combinations because he mixes it up. Good boxing, and then he has good kicks. Overall, he's just a really well-rounded guy. Should be already ranked top 15, but he needs to fight better competition. But anyways, I see Tim winning here, guys, and I think he's more than likely going to get probably a second round knockout here. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with that. Tim Means, second round knockout. Next fight, we got Bethe Correia versus Marion Reneau. I'm going to go ahead and take Marion on this fight, guys. I really like her grappling game. She's really good on the ground. Way better than Bethe here on the ground. And the striking also, I think she's more technical than Bethe. She has really good multi. Bethe pretty much, she just likes to come forward and box. Doesn't throw much else. Doesn't really have good grappling skills that we've seen anyway in the UFC. Just moves forward, throws a lot of punches and whatnot. So she does have good output, though. I mean, you can see there by strikes landed per minute. Very good output, but she's not the most technical fighter here. But I mean, she could win the fight if she just moves forward, looks like she's landing a lot or whatever, and has that octagon control. But I think Reneau here is going to be too technical. I think she's going to be landing the better combinations. She's going to be hitting that. She's going to be hitting those leg kicks, because Reneau has really good kicks from that multi-attack. Also, Reneau looks like she's been working on her boxing a little bit in the last fight, using some jabs. Yeah, I expect Reneau here to be about better everywhere, except maybe just like the volume, like the output. I think Bethe will have the better output, but I think Reneau will offset that. If Reneau comes in aggressive, I think she should be able to win this fight, though, for sure. Just move forward, throw those 1-2s, and then land a kick. Just work those legs, and get Bethe tired and whatnot. But yeah, I think Marion Reneau here should be able to get the win here, guys. She's way better on the ground, so I strictly see this fight staying on the feet. If Reneau does go for takedowns, she's going to be way better on the ground. So hopefully she does take it to the ground at one point, but I really do see the fight just being kind of just like a slugfest, just both of them having a nice kickboxing fight. And Reneau, like I said, has way better kicks and also some good boxing, while Bethe just relies on her boxing. So I'll go ahead and take Reneau on this one, guys. And more than likely, Reneau's going to win by decision. If Bethe wins, more likely by decision also. So yeah, Reneau by decision. Next fight, jussier Formiga versus Ray Borg. Good grapplers here. Formiga, really good BJJ. Ray Borg, the better wrestler here. Good takedowns, good passing game when he's on top. Good scrambles. He's strong on top also, just like Formiga is also, obviously. Formiga not as good as a striker, I would say. I'd say Borg here is the better striker, but it's very close. So for me here, I'm gonna go ahead and have to take the better wrestler, and I think that's Ray Borg here, guys. I think he's gonna have to win the fight by landing repetitive takedowns and whatnot. But if he showcases his striking, I think maybe he should be able to get the edge also in the striking. So I give Ray Borg a slight striking advantage. Like I said, I do think he's the better wrestler though. He's also the younger and fresher fighter, so you know I just expect him to look a little bit more, have a little bit more energy. Formiga also sometimes I think gases, so you know I think a lot of things here could play against Formiga. So I kind of see Borg getting the win here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick Borg, and more than likely he's gonna also win by decision. So Borg by decision. Alright, now for the next fight, guys. One of my favorite fighters here, Edson Barboza. Really fun to watch. Really good striker against Beneil Dariush. This is another fight that I think should mostly play on the feet, kind of like the Reneau fight, Reneau and bethe fight. Beneil here doesn't have really good takedowns, really, to you know, take down Barboza, obviously, to work his jiu-jitsu game. His striking is good. You know, I think he has a black belt in multi under Cordero, who's obviously a really good multi instructor. But I mean, Barboza has just lightning fast kicks, man. He's just so fast. Good boxing also. He's very quick and he's hard to take down. Look at the takedown defense right there, 86%. That's excellent right there. Melendez couldn't take him down. I mean, Melendez is a lot better wrestler than Dariush here is. You know. I think Dariush maybe could get him down if he gets him against the cage, works his multi-clinch, and then, you know, tries to trip him down or something like that. And Dariush's last fight, he really likes the clinch position, the multi-clinch, likes landing knees in the clinch. Kind of like a dirty boxing, obviously, type of style, but, you know, instead of boxing, he's using the knees. Barboza here, obviously having good multi and good knees and kicks and whatnot. I think he should be strong in that position, but I mean, you never know. Barboza usually struggles with people who really come forward a lot and eat his strikes and just keep moving forward, and you know the volume pretty much beats him or whatever. But let's go ahead and check his last fights. But I know his last fight was against Melendez, and pretty much he really chewed up Melendez's leg. Melendez had some moments in that fight where he hurt him and whatnot, but overall Barboza was the more effective striker. And the Anthony Pettis fight, he really just wrecked Pettis the whole fight. His last loss was to Tony Ferguson, who I think he was actually losing the fight until he was able to catch Barboza with that submission. Paul Felder fight, nope. Who else? Cerrone dropped him with a jab, and then was able to get that submission against Michael Johnson. Oh yeah, Michael Johnson was the guy that pressured him, was able to eat Barboza's shots and just keep moving forward, throw a lot of output, and that was enough to be able to beat Barboza. Sorry about that, guys. A little bit of slurring there and whatnot. Anyways, so you know, someone that throws a lot, high tempo, always in your face type of fighter, more than likely could be able to beat Barboza if they're able to absorb his, you know, his kicks and whatnot. Melendez was that type of guy, but Melendez was not able to absorb his kicks that well in the third round, where he was really hurt from his leg. Dariush doesn't seem to be overly aggressive type of guy, doesn't throw a huge amount of output, not huge knockout power or anything like that either. So it's really hard to see Dariush win here, but I mean he could pull it off, guys. Maybe gets into some sort of scramble, like Cerrone, like how he was able to hurt Barboza, and then you know just scrambles to get that rear naked choke or whatever. So Dariush, if he's able to maybe hurt him just for a slight moment, he might be able to capitalize and go for a submission or something like that. So that's one way I could see Dariush winning. But in just like a straight stand-up fight, yeah, I don't see Dariush winning, and I really do think this fight's going to be a lot of stand-up because, like I said, Dariush isn't really a good wrestler. So, you know, I'm interested to see the fight. I mean, I think Dariush here is a good DraftKings play, though. He's very cheap on DraftKings, so I think I might play him on DraftKings. But, you know, as a realistic pick here, I think Barboza should be able to get the win, and more than likely Barboza wins by decision, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Barboza as my pick, but I will be probably playing Dariush on DraftKings. So I'm kind of torn there because, like I said, I think Dariush could win, but at the same time, I think Barboza should be able to get the win here. But like I said, you know, if I think someone does have a chance like Dariush here and he's cheap on DraftKings, I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, give it a try and just pick him, see what happens. You know, Dariush is a smart fighter. He's very intelligent. I'm pretty sure he's analyzed Barboza really well. If he could absorb his kicks, I think he should be fine. But we're gonna have to see about that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pick for my official pick, Barboza by decision. All right, now for the co-main event, we got Shogun versus Gian Villante. Two strikers here. Both of them have good power. Both of them not super durable, so I do expect a finish in this fight. And I'm gonna have to go with another one of my favorite fighters. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Shogun on this one, guys. He's on a 2-fight win streak. I think he beat Lil Nog and Corey Anderson, who is a really good wrestler. He was able to win that fight. Villante is coming off a win also against some guy I'm not even too familiar with. It was like some striker type of guy. Yeah, Saberbek Safarov or whatever. Then he Latifi, and he also beat Anthony Parash, but that guy's an old ass man. He has been knocked out before though. I'm talking about Villante here against Tom Lawler. So I would say whoever lands first here, you know, more than likely is going to be able to win the fight, you know. But I really like Shogun here. I think he's for sure the better striker, but Villante does have some good boxing. You know, Shogun has that multi-striking. He's been looking good, you know, his last two fights. Hasn't got no knockouts in his last two fights against Lil Nog and Corey Anderson, but you know, he's looked good. He's won by decision. You know, he's doing all right. You know, he's doing all right. So I think this fight he should be able to get a finisher though, because Villante not too durable. Shogun still got that power. I think Shogun here fighting in Brazil, you know, I think he's gonna be able to land a good shot and get that finish. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick Shogun here. You know, like I said, I'm a big fan of him, so it's gonna suck if he loses, but you know, I think Shogun here is gonna be able to get it done, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and say second round knockout for Shogun. Alright, now for the main event, guys, we got Vitor Belfort versus Kelvin Gastelum. Alright, so obviously Vitor Belfort versus Kelvin Gastelum here. Yeah, you know, really like Kelvin here, guys. He's just gonna be a little bit too good here, I think. Belfort does got the experience, he does have good striking, but his durability is, you know, it's pretty much gone. You know, man, this guy's got finished his last two fights against Musasi and Jacare. Before that, you know, he beat Dan Hendo by knockout, and I think it was in the first round. But you know, before that, obviously it was the Chris Weidman fight. We also got battered on the ground. So you know, whenever he loses recently nowadays, he gets finished. And Kelvin here, you know, good power, good boxing, good wrestling, obviously. But he really likes to box a lot, and you know, he has enough power here to put Belfort down, I think, man. I think he's gonna overwhelm Belfort with his volume. Kelvin has really good volume, you know, volume striking with his boxing, and it has good power too. It's not just, you know, weak shots or anything like that. He throws a lot of volume, and his volume has a lot of power too. So, you know, all that really sounds pretty bad here for Belfort, man. This guy, you know, Belfort really depends on his flurries, you know, to land effective strikes. But like I said, this guy's kind of like, you know, he's on the downslope right now. Kelvin's just looking too good right now. He really battered Tim Kennedy, and I think a lot of people were picking Kennedy in that fight. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, how? I mean, how the fuck can you pick Tim Kennedy? I mean, Kennedy was coming off that long ass layoff, I'm pretty sure, and we haven't seen him in a while, obviously, with that long layoff. And even though it was Kelvin's 185 debut, I thought, you know, it was gonna be Kelvin all day. You know, like, you know, Kelvin is gonna be way better on the feet, and he was. You know, he straight battered the fuck out of Tim Kennedy. And obviously Kelvin having that wrestling base also stopped Kennedy from really taking him down too easily and whatnot. But in this fight, you know, Belfort does have a shot. I mean, not a huge shot, but he does have a shot here because obviously on the feet does have some power. He's just not as fast as he used to be. Actually, when he was in TRT, when he was TRT BELFORT, man, this guy would have probably destroyed Kelvin. But I mean, now without TRT, you know, BELFORT just isn't as explosive. And yeah, I just really can't see him land something really nasty on Kelvin and hurting him, because Kelvin also has really good durability, man. Kelvin has an excellent chin. I think his only losses, he's lost by decision. So, you know, it's hard to put Kelvin away, even though, you know, he's fighting at 185 now, and vitor is gonna have some power. But I think Kelvin should be able to take it. And yeah, overall, guys, I'm just gonna have to go ahead and pick Kelvin on this one, man. He's just gonna be too good. He's gonna be too hungry. He's gonna push the pace. He's gonna move forward. He's gonna land a lot of strikes. He's gonna work that boxing. Maybe he might even just go for the takedown and just smash him on the ground with that ground and pound. We already seen how good BELFORT is off his back, and it's not good, man. He just kind of just lays down there and takes that punishment. And against Kelvin, that's gonna be a bad thing. I think Kelvin could realistically win this fight in the first round. If he just takes him down and just batters him, kind of like Weidman did. So could beat him in that first round, but I'm not gonna be surprised if he just knocks him out in the second. So for my official pick, I'm gonna go ahead and say Kelvin, second round knockout, guys. So that's my pick. All right, guys, so that's it for my picks here. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys my most confident picks here on the whole card. Gastelum, Tim Means is my second most confident pick. Who else? And this guy down here, Paulo Barichinha, making his debut, but you know, he has all wins by finish, no losses, fighting against McClellan, fighting obviously in his hometown Brazil. McClellan is not too good. Paulo should be able to expose him on the feet and get that knockout. Those are my three most confident picks. Let's see, my least confident pick. I think my least confident pick would have to be maybe Berkman or Ramos. I would say I think Berkman or Ramos, kind of tied there a little bit. You know what? I think Ramos. Yeah, Ramos would have to be my least confident pick out of all the picks so far that I told you guys. But anyways, that's gonna be it, guys, for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, obviously, and the picks and whatnot. Let me know who you guys picked on the main card. Let me know if you guys got some sort of insight, maybe changed my mind or something like that. Yeah, subscribe if you're a new viewer. Do these UFC pick videos every time there's a UFC card. So yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the fights, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.